I'm Rachel Tucker. I play Captain Beverly Bass, Annette, and others in Come From Away. Hilarious, fantastic. It's a gift for an actor to be able to switch from one role to the next in seconds, different accent, different characteristics, different thought process. I love it. Love it. Not only is it a wonderful musical show to be in, but it's such a special story. I adore telling the story every night. Oh, I love having the Newfoundlanders here, and all the Come From Awares. Anybody that was involved originally in it, or were portraying in the show. It's such great energy. Like last night in the middle of my song and Me in the Sky, I got a big round of applause. When I say 1986, the first female American captain in history, and everybody went woo! And it's because all the Newfoundlanders are in, and they know it. They know they're ready for it, and I love it. It's such a great feeling. This is a global show. This is so universal. This message, it could never date. The show is now and forever, and it will be etched into our minds. It has been mine since September when I saw it on Broadway. It's what we need right now. It's the tonic. It's the most honest musical piece of performance that I've ever watched or even been part of. Um, I just find it would very hard for people to not walk away with a spring in their step, with hope for this world, for their fellow neighbour. It's a beautiful piece of theatre. Rehearsal process was probably the hardest rehearsal process I've ever been through in my life. We were told to be off the script, off book, to know our lines, which is a job, a feat in itself, because I learned very much on the floor with the script in my hand, get it wrong, go back to it. But we had to know our lines because we had a lot of chair moves, as you know, and anybody that comes to see the show will know this. We have to move. I have to put coats and jackets on, hats. So, but we very, very much got that down pat before we got it into our bodies. We had to learn the show very physically before we could mentally take it in, and that was new for me. It was a first. I felt like I was doing a very bad job for the first 2 or 3 weeks, but we were told by the creatives and the director that you will feel like you're not doing a good job. Don't worry, you're in the right place, you're in the right headspace. And then the minute we knew what we were doing, it was like just falling off the other edge of the high, steep hill that we were climbing up as a cast. And once we were over that hurdle, it was the most joyous experience. We were able to live and breathe the songs and act it and, really inhabit it. So it was kind of a bit of a backwards rehearsal process for us.
I'm Claude Elliott, the former mayor of Gander, Newfoundland, and was the mayor during 9/11.
My name's Claude Carter, and in fact I play Claude.
Well, it's great. It's a great opportunity to visit London. It's also a great opportunity to meet the people that's portraying you in the musical. But I think the most important thing is the story. It's great from a personal perspective to be here, but I think it's a story that needs to be told, that hundreds and millions of people should see, and hopefully that the world can be a better place because of this show. That's what it's all about. I guess in any tragedy, no matter where in the world, there's always a good story can come out of tragedy. There was nothing we could do for New York. There was nothing we could do for Pennsylvania. There was nothing we could do for the people that crashed into the Pentagon. But there was something we could do for the 7,000 people that landed in our community. So that's what we focused on, because we knew that most of the passengers were Americans. Their country was under attack. They were away from their families. They were scared. A lot of uncertainty. They didn't know if they want to go back to their country again. So it was our job over the 5 days that they were there to reassure them that there still is a lot of good in the world. And yes, your country is going to face some challenges. Yes, you're going to have it, but you will win in the end. So as much as people needed food and bedding and clothing and everything, they needed love as much as anything. And we provided all that for them, because that's all we could do was help the people that was in our community.
I have to say it's one of the hardest shows I've ever worked on, because there was so much documented about I think it's important to say this show is 9/12, not 9/11. But we had to do the research, and that was emotionally draining. It was really draining. But I think the most important thing is you have to remember when the world was going nuts, this small place in the middle of nowhere, nobody had ever heard of, showed the rest of the world how they should be behaving. And you still do. They're still behaving in that way. So we have a lot to learn from this small community. And that's why the show's important as well.
But after seeing the show so many times, in between New York and I've seen it in Washington, Seattle, Toronto, Gander, and last night I had the opportunity to see it here in London, that the thing that impressed me the most is all the cast are into the story. It's like they're caught up in the emotion, and you can see the excitement on their faces that they're proud to tell this story. It's just not, to me, I'm not seeing a group of people, oh, this is a job, I'm going to do it for a couple of hours, then I can go. But they're into it, and it's like they become part of the community, and they're part of us. They're part of us now, and for that is great. And people are seeing it. The audience are seeing this emotion. They're seeing this kindness in the people who's portraying it, and I think is great. And it will change the world, but there's a lot of changing got to be done. But I think people are going to go away with a different sense of happiness. They're going to go away with a different sense of, hey, perhaps I can do something good. And I think it will change people. But there's a long road ahead.
My name is Diane Davis, and I was a teacher at Gander Academy on September 11th, 2001.
My name is Jenna Boyd. I play Beulah Davis in the London cast of Come From Away.
It's amazing to be invited here to represent our community and to see this cast on the West End. The show is phenomenal. The energy on stage is only matched by the energy coming from the audience. They just erupted in a standing ovation. We are so proud of what they're doing.
There is a pressure. I'm very humbled by being in their presence, by having them there. It always makes me want to do a good job, and that's where the pressure comes from. But they are just so kind and so generous as individuals and as a community that you can only ever want to do good things for them.
I actually stayed at Gander Academy for 5 days. And we had 770 people in the school, so the opportunity to make that personal contact was more difficult. But I was very privileged last night to sit next to Captain Robert Burgess, who is a pilot for Flight Virgin Atlantic, Flight 21 that landed in Gander, and his passengers were at the school. So he and I have kept in touch. Last night I met one of the cardiologists who was on his flight. They're already talking about a reunion. And to get the opportunity to come here and meet the people and see it from their side has been really, really interesting.
They simply just should. Where we are as a country, as a larger community, it is the time to come and see what being an island really means. It doesn't mean being isolated. It doesn't mean being separate from everyone else. It means being a unit and a strong unit and welcoming in others. This show should be the thing that the politicians see. This is what we need to see. This is how we need to behave. They are an example that we need to look on and proceed with.
The singing and dancing is a bit of a surprise. I always thought my life would be a reality show. And obviously I am a character, but the fact that it would be on a musical stage is very overwhelming. We're very proud. As a community, we are very proud of this show. As an individual, I'm very aware that that teacher character is one of 60 people that I was working with and then volunteering with for that whole week, just in my school. All the schools in Gander were involved, schools in Lewisport, schools in Glenwood, and those of us on stage are honored to be represented, but we know we're representing a larger community, not just Gander, the 5 other communities who house passengers, and a huge region who sent food and who helped out. So we're overwhelmed and honored every single time.
I'm Harry Morrison and I play Oz Fudge, amongst other characters as well.
I'm Oz Fudge and I don't play Harry Morrison.
yet.
Oh, this is unbelievable. I was so excited when they told us we were coming because I've never been over here. I'm 64 now, and I didn't think I was ever going to get the chance to be here. And to be able to be here, and then I went to the play last night, and I'm going again on Monday night. So I'm over the moon excited.
Oh, I feel immense pressure. I don't feel any pressure until he's standing right next to me, and then suddenly I feel, no, I don't at all, actually. It felt like that would be what it was at the beginning, but actually it's almost exactly the opposite. It makes it easier to tell the story because because, you know, as you guys don't shout out about, you know, that's not why you did anything you did. We get to do that. And it feels like such an important story to tell that actually, on the flip side, it makes it easier and it makes it, you know, it makes it far more important that we tell the story and we do it justice. We want to do it well.
When we were in New York, when we were in Seattle, in LA, you know, the places that we've been, after the show is over, people don't want to leave the theater. They're being pushed out by the staff because they want to talk. They want to. I don't know if it's like a piece of cake. They want a piece of that cake, this piece of love. They want to be, and then they want to go out and share it, and that is amazing to watch. I think the British audience is a lot like the North American audience, and I think most people remember the day when you knew your neighbor, when a hug wasn't, you know, an uncommon thing. I think it was. And I think we've just brought them back to that day with everything that's going on in the world today. And you look at it, and it's not just the political things, it's just the hatred that seems to be going on. And it's front and center on TV. So you see it every day. And you're going, I know, and I've said it, my God, I wish there was some good news on TV. I'm tired of seeing this. And here's the good news. Here it is here. And it doesn't take much. It doesn't. What does a handshake take? What does a hug take?
I think British people are crying out for this now. I think we really are. And this isn't a show about that horrible day. It was an awful thing. This is a show about the stuff that came after and the wonderful dreadful things happen all the time, and it's about celebrating the things that we can do to make life a wonderful thing in the wake of all the terrible things that happen in life. We can make the choice to do wonderful things and help each other and be good to each other.
I'm Kevin Young, or Kevin J. in the play.
I'm Kevin Turf, Tuerff, also known as the Gay Lumberjack.
I'm David Shannon. I play Kevin T, the Gay Lumberjack.
I'm Jonathan Andrew Human. I portray Kevin J.
It's very exciting to be in London for the show. This will be our fourth company. And before it went to Broadway, David and Irene, the writers, were cautiously optimistic. And I saw it and said, are you kidding me? This is definitely going to Broadway. But even we could not have foreseen how it's going global. I mean, the next stop is Melbourne, Australia, so in July. So it's fantastic. It's weird in a good way, but it's fantastic.
It's wonderful to be in London. Kevin and I, when we were together, we actually spent Christmas in London many years ago, so it's great to be here. And I brought my tradition of Pay It Forward 18 years ago that I started, and did a little Pay It Forward yesterday. Diane Davis from Gander and I, we gave out Valentine's Day cards to strangers on the streets of London yesterday. So that's what this show is all about, is humanity, kindness and compassion.
I've said this before, but when Kevin first watched the show in Dublin, I had I'd looked out in the audience at the moment before I became Kevin T. And I clocked him straight away in the audience and had a little kind of fluff. Went, oh, it's you. Yes, it's you. Right, okay. And kind of fluffed my line a little bit and then just moved on. So there is that little kind of aware. We're very aware that we're not impersonating them, but we're doing our version. As I've said a lot, that because we jump around so much in characters, that we need to just be our version of who those people are. And a lot of the characters are composites of different people as well. They're not just one person. So it does put a little bit of pressure on, but it's a nice pressure because we have we have people to talk to about it, and we can ask questions. What it was really like, and that's quite exciting because that never happens normally. You're normally playing someone fictional or someone who's dead. So
Yeah, but also the fact that, I mean, everybody is just so nice. Both Kevins are really nice people, and everybody else that we've met that come from aways and the Newfoundlanders, everybody's just really nice. And that's
Except me.
Well, I said the come from aways and the
Yeah.
Newfoundlanders. I didn't say the love interest on stage. But yeah, that sense of community that you see on the stage carries on backstage into everybody in the cast and the crew, and also the producers and the come from aways and Newfoundlanders. So that takes a lot of the pressure off, because you know that everybody's there rooting for you. We're all trying to tell the same story, and it's just a fantastic, beautiful ride to be on.
Well, it's surreal to have someone, especially a younger, better-looking dancing version of me on stage.
That's the tour version, not me.
And but I just think that it's a terrific honor, and but I respect so much the work that's happened, and if they can in this 100 minutes motivate the audience to experience what we experienced in Gander, the kindness of strangers, and if they can motivate people to take from that and then go out into their lives and put that into practice compassion, that makes me very happy.
Describe Come From Away in 5 words. Is it even possible? It is. It's cathartic. It's hopeful. It's joyous. It's humanity. And it's love.
Right, so it feels shorter than it is. 6, sorry.
Happy, emotional, beautiful. It's transcendent, and
Funny.
yeah, I think I said funny, but yeah, funny again.
It's a show of hope, kindness, and be nice to each other.
Generosity, helping others, and not for yourself, but do for others.
Uplifting. It is overwhelming. It's beautiful. It's heartwarming. And it's funny.
It's love, kindness, joy. Help me out. What else can we throw into the pot? 5 words.
5 words to describe the show.
Yeah.
I'm stuck for words, but generosity,
Yeah.
the love, the hug, it's just the feeling of being loved, the feeling of being wanted, feeling of being helped, feeling of that to me is what the show describes.